when I encourage people to reflect, they're a little concerned about doing it. There's been some difficulties, maybe tragedies in their life. But at the end of the day, there is also a chance to really make it part of your good life by reflecting and turning it into gratitude. And there is always something to be grateful for. If you woke up this morning, if you're listening to this, if you're breathing air and you're moving around, there's something to be thankful for. And the truth of the matter is, when we really count our blessings, now it really becomes a lot of work because there's so much to consider. So just going to give you a couple thoughts here today. Claude Monet said, "It's on the strength of observation and reflection that one finds a way. So we must dig and delve unceasingly." And this is the great time of year to do it. All the year in review shows, all the sports shows, here's what happened this year. It's a great time of year. So first of all, evaluate what worked. That's where you start. What worked this year? The next thing is what needs a tune-up. And then lastly, I'm going to talk a little bit about photographs and memories. So as you think about evaluating what worked this year, review your goals from January. And again, it's always with some trepidation that people do that. Why? Because here's how we think. We all focus on the goals that we didn't reach. As I'm talking to you, I'm thinking of the goals I didn't reach. As I'm saying this to you, myself, because it's just easier to do that. And so we need to take a look at the goals we did achieve. And sometimes we put them in the rearview mirror and we drive on. But the strength for the future is in those things we've achieved in our past. And so that's very, very important. So we must take a look at that. And, we want to review. Peter Drucker said what gets measured gets managed. So we should review what went well. Yet you wrote down some goals at the start of the year. What goals did you check off? What goals did you not? Revisit your calendar and your bank statements, right? So where did you spend your treasure, your time and your money? It's an interesting thing to do. And I do it as a matter of course. And I flick through and I scan through. And again, it's a good thing to do for tax policies and all that kind of good stuff, to just scan through your online bank statements and boom, through it. Where'd you spend your money? You'll start to see some patterns beyond just the normal bills. It's like, where did you spend your money? Where did you spend your time? Or where did you not spend your money is one of the things to look for. Lastly, you want to really take time to take stock of what's real. Where did you win? Where did you lose? And where are you stuck? Where is it a goal you've set that you've set before and set before and set before? And is it time for a coach? Is it time for some help? We all know the pattern is Thanksgiving all the way through the end of the year, and it's hard. It's hard to avoid. There's parties everywhere, there's family events everywhere, there's meals and sweet things everywhere. It's hard to not eat a little more richly than you would normally do. And indeed, some of that's the fun of the fair, the holidays. And so then we set the goals in January. I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And how do we do? How do we really do in all of that? So where'd you win? Where did you lose? Where are you stuck? Is it time for a coach? Is it time for some help? It's very important. I will say this. I think the one thing I did more successfully this year than I've ever done is get help. And I've done this now in every area. In my business, I formed a board. Now I own my own company. I own 100%, along with my wife, the shares of this business. I don't need a board. I don't need accountability. I can be the king of my own castle, but I didn't. I formed a board and created this layer of accountability, both with me and to the organization, and then into the organization itself. And in just a few months, the amount of work that's been done has been extraordinary. What I do? I got help. Physically trying to tick it up a notch. I went and got help. Mentally got help. Spiritually, I connect once a week now with a gentleman. We have a fabulous series of engagements and encouragements along that line, and just made a commitment. And so I would say the best thing I did this year was I went and got more help. Now, it's kind of odd for a guy who's, for more than a quarter of a century ran a coaching company and has been talking about coaching, and I just got more coaching than I ever did. And it turned out I was in more need of it than I knew. And that might be you too. So if you find yourself in your finances, you're a bit stuck, or in your career, in your business, you're a bit stuck, or in your relationships, you're a bit stuck, or your health, you're a bit stuck, well, go get unstuck And rather than dig yourself out of the dirt, you know, that there's a phrase, and we cover this in an episode of the Good Life podcast earlier this year, the whole pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Well, the fact of the matter is that was a foolish statement. That was actually a joke in British society, because they were all horse riders, and many of them were horse riders, and they knew you actually physically cannot pull yourself up by your bootstraps. If you're sitting in the saddle, you can't pick yourself up by your bootstraps. So it was actually kind of a satirical statement. But in America, it's been taken, you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Here's the thing, it's actually not possible. So you need to get help. I need to get help. We all need a bit of help. And it's okay. It's okay. And it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you or something broken with you. It means you're actually really committed to success. So look at the areas where you won. Look at the areas where you struggled. And look at the areas where you're stuck. And see if, rather than pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you can get someone to help you along.